Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the 4th and 5 podcast. Penn State coming off an absolute ass kicking of Maryland. It was nice to see. Once again, I'm with Robby. I'm with Mo. Guys, how are we?
Feeling good. Feeling good. Definitely don't hate beating a team by 30 points and not letting up a score. So I feel good this week. I'm excited to finish out our season and look forward to whatever bowl game we get. So
How about that man, Jake Pinniger?
give him his props. We'll give
Yeah,
his props
I mean-
early this week.
Clap it up for that guy. What a
50-yard club.
turnaround. 50-yard club, he's made two 50-yarders. They were good from 55, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And right down the dick in weather conditions like that. I trust him. Granted, we're probably not going to have a game where I need to trust him.
Maybe the
Knock
bowl
on
game.
wood.
You never know.
Maybe
Never
the
know.
bowl game. Maybe the bowl game, which is looking ever so important.
Mm-hmm.
But good team win.
Yeah, Maryland couldn't move the ball whatsoever. It was crazy. I think they had 120 yards of total offense or something. And then did they score at all in the second half? Penn State? I don't
3
think so,
points
right?
first drive.
Three?
Yeah. I was gonna say
3
it was
points in the
most of the
first
first
drive.
half game.
I mean, it didn't really matter.
It
The
was
game was
12
over. at half.
It was 27-0 at the half. Maryland had 27 offensive yards at the half. They had as many yards as we had points. And then our first drive, in the second half, Cliff drove us down for a field goal. And then, like you said, the game was over. Maryland could not move the ball. Second half wasn't great. We definitely made some mistakes that, there's a lot of young guys. I think by midway through the third quarter, there wasn't a one on the field.
Yeah.
But still would have liked to see some points. You can chalk it up to inexperience, weather conditions, but end all be all. You're just getting more guys experience, which is what this team needs moving forward. So.
Yeah, I think that was the main takeaway is just we got as many guys in there as we could have. It's always nice to see, when a game ends in the first half for our team and not the other way around. But it's nice to get our backups in there and get some quality reps. It's always nice to not have our ones in there going into the fourth quarter. So it was nice to see. I feel good the last 2 weeks. Only giving up 14 points in the last 2 weeks is always a good thing. Our defense without our top 3 guys arguably was stellar. You can't get better than that. You can't ask for better than that. So I feel really good moving forward and carrying it into next year as well. So.
Yeah, like we said, if they made mistakes in the third quarter, the twos and the young guys did. But if there's a spot you want to make mistakes, it's up 30 in a game that's pretty much over late in the game. So that wasn't really a big deal. The run game got going again. It was just incredible to watch. Last week it was the K-Tron game. This week we had another Nick game. Nick ran two touchdowns and that 45-yard touchdown where he just ran everybody over and held on the ball. He was running angry that game. I don't know what fire was lit under him pregame, but he was a man possessed and he went off. It was great to see that we know he can mow guys down. And he showed it. He was just running guys over. And this Nick Singleton K-Tron Allen duo is going to be so much fun to watch going forward. It was so much fun to watch already during the season, and next year I legitimately can't wait.
Yeah, we're at the point now where it's not just like we have one of the best freshman running back duos.
It's the best
we
running
have one
back
of the
duo.
best running back duos, which, we've touched on this before. Them splitting carries, that's what these kids want to do because they don't want all the mileage. These kids want, you can tell right now they're both playing on Sundays. They don't want 300 touches a year. It's not. NFL teams don't like it. They don't like it. Keeping them at 15 a game is so ideal. These kids are going to have both less than 200 touches with probably 1,000 yards, both around 1,000 yards, 10 plus scores. It's just unreal. Circling back to Robby, you said with our top 3 arguably top 3 best defensive players out. Does suck that we probably have seen the last of Joey Porter Jr. in a Penn State uniform. I mean, he could play a bowl game, but I mean,
but with that paycheck coming, why,
that paycheck coming,
everything
and I mean, he's out. So if he got the appendicitis last week, called another 5 weeks, that puts us like his first time practicing is a week before the bowl game. Like, to get yourself back into football shape, like I don't blame him for just, he paid his dues to this team, and I mean, clearly he's made an impact on the cornerbacks on this team because Kalen King is a dog. I mean, he stepped right in and is incredible. Johnny Dixon looks better and better. I mean, the secondary is just good, and the future is great too. I know we're losing our 2 leaders in Jair and Joey Porter, but I mean, Zakee Wheatley's look great at safety. Kalen King, Johnny Dixon, great at corner. I mean, I think we're just going to be able to slot new guys right in there that can perform. So that's I'm just feeling really good about this defense and the steps and strides that we've taken under Manny. I'm just curious how long Manny Diaz sticks around, because people are going to be knocking.
Yeah.
Probably won't be for too much longer, if I had to guess.
I think this year, I think we get 1 more year. I think next year we have him again, and then I think he's going to get a head coaching job. Because I don't even know what his contract looks like, but I think next year is his last year. He's going to get a head coaching job right after, because I mean, a lot of guys are going to get fired.
Manny Diaz is still young too. Like, his head coaching career is not done. We've seen Miami's a dumpster fire still.
He was in a bad situation at Miami. It's tough to be a head coach down there.
I mean, it's but I mean, just the way that he has just made this defense better than what it was under Brent Pry.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
and the Brent Pry defense was good.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, this defense has been incredible. So, and then
I just feel like it's a different vibe. You know what I mean? Like, they're just a bunch of dogs. Like, I would feel comfortable going up against most teams in the country with our defense. Our offense is a different story, but our defense is so solid.
Yeah, we're solid up and down the field.
Statistically, it's not one of the better defenses in the country, but if you watch them play,
the eye test.
They let up a lot of yards to Ohio State and Michigan, which are the 2 most important games of the year, obviously. But they let up all the yards to Ohio State late. The Michigan game, they were on the field for 40 minutes, so you can't really blame them. They're one of the best defenses in the country, and I think that if we do get into a New Year's Six bowl, whether it be the Cotton Bowl, the Orange Bowl, whatever it be, I think that people are going to be on notice with Manny Diaz's defense.
Our defense is still like top 25, top 30 in every major statistical category.
Yeah.
With, an absolute Ohio State, I wouldn't even say was that bad. We gave up a ton of yards to Michigan. Michigan was an absolute stinker.
Michigan was just a brutal game altogether.
That was a stinker.
That one was, yeah.
That was
poor in that one. But Ohio State, you watch that game, and I think you're watching it as like an observer. The eye test, just the feel of how the defense plays is just I don't know. The statistics are one thing, but just the feel of how we played against Ohio State. Like, I didn't feel like we got blown out or we were getting pushed around the field. You know what I mean?
And Ohio State, we really should have won that game, and it sucks that we didn't, because we'd be in such a good spot right now. Had we won that game and not fallen apart, I was gonna say the other day I had a dream that we blew a 15-point lead to Michigan State. So hopefully that doesn't happen, because that would make me really upset. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, that would I'd turn into the Joker. We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the T formation. I mean,
Love the T formation.
So the first Katron touchdown, the 40 whatever yarder, that was the same exact play we ran against Ohio State, where I said, if Sal Wormley holds this block for another second, Nick's gone.
Gone. Yeah.
This time Sal Wormley held that block and blocked and blocked another guy, and Nick was just gone. And it was
all he
it's
needs
beautiful.
Is that little
all he needs is that little crease. The blocking, the big boys up front are God. I mean, I texted you guys this week that like I love good offensive line play. Like I just love it. And these guys
it's not better.
This is patchwork too. Like we're missing a lot of our starters, and these guys are young and they're just playing mean. I mean, I think that Michigan game really lit a fire on our front seven.
I also think they realize what they have behind them. I think they realize, hey, we have two very special guys, and we're going to have a really special guy at QB next year. We should, we're going to get it together and play as a unit and, push people around and give our guys a good chance to get in the end zone. I love it. I think everybody's buying in, and I just love the feel of it.
Yeah.
Most of those guys are coming back, right? We have most of these guys back.
On the offensive line, everyone
but probably, but most of probably not back and all back, right?
Scruggs is gonna go too.
Yeah, that's fine though. I mean, these other guys have shown that they can do it, so I'm not really super concerned.
Well, then we have that five-star center from Virginia is coming in anyway, Alex Birchmeyer. He's been one of the. Alex Birchmeyer, he's a 5-star center. He's like the number 3 O lineman in the class.
Ashburn. Isn't Trace from Ashburn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the 14th best recruit in the country.
Yeah, guy's legit.
Love to hear it.
We've got we recruited really, really well on this is actually the perfect segue that we just kind of got into.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So once again, 30-0. We love that. Let's talk some recruiting. We've talked a little bit about this freshman class, but Alex Birchmeyer, then we have that Javen Williams. He's the number 1 recruit in PA, another offensive lineman. Like our best 2 recruits are linemen, which is
love to hear it, which is what we need.
Really, really good, especially the way, Troutwine, I'm kind of buying into whatever he's selling there because the offensive line's been rough, but I think we're finally starting to really put it all together. You hate to say that COVID ruined, but this team is just finally getting all of that momentum back that we had post 2019 Cotton Bowl. I think the wind is fully behind the sails, just like it was in 2019 after that Cotton Bowl win. I just really like the direction recruiting wise. Georgia just had a big 4-star DB decommit, and we're the Daniel Harris. We're the favorite to pick him up.
I think we can thank JPJ for giving us a little publicity there in the DB department, helping us out recruit wise.
Yeah, because this kid, I'm pretty sure this kid's from Georgia, committed. No, he's from Florida, but he committed to Georgia, but he took an official to Penn State back in June. We're Crystal Ball on 247 has us as the favorites, but that'd be something if our 2 starting corners next year, him from Florida. And then Kalen King from Michigan. That shows that we can definitely recruit that position well, which would be nice.
Got 2 safeties coming in as well. One's named King Mack, and I think he's my favorite recruit of all time.
That's amazing. Yep. We got a lot of
and we got a couple kids from Virginia.
That Tony Rojas too. He's a linebacker. I've been seeing him getting all sorts of love from Virginia Press football. The class is currently ranked 14th, which isn't great,
It's
but
because we don't have any 5-stars. That's why.
yeah.
If
But
we
we have
get
a-
one 5-star, we jump to like top 10 easy. Because we have
Yeah.
14 4-stars, which is like the second or third most. We just don't have any 5-stars, which is I think we'll get one. But
Well, no,
I mean, all the
Birchmeyer.
4-stars,
Birchmeyer's a 5-star.
it says on 24/7 he's a 4. He's a high 4.
I mean,
So in my mind, he's a 5.
I don't care about the 5-star, 4-star.
Yeah, it doesn't really
high
matter.
star.
Because
High.
they're all high 4s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Birchmeyer's a
doesn't matter.
9.8. Javen Williams
Well,
9.7.
think-
Taylor Rojas is
remember
9.5.
Justin Shorter.
That kid King Mac is like
Remember
a
Justin
9.3.
Shorter in 2017? He was one of the top recruits in the country, one of like the highest rated receivers ever, and that guy came out to nothing. So
Yeah.
hope you're doing
Yeah.
well, Justin. I know you're a big listener.
Hope you're doing well.
I know you're a big
Friend of the
listener.
pod,
So
yeah,
I
so
remember
I'm
I ran
looking
into
forward
him
to
at a
stuff.
party like sophomore year.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, oh man, like I was working a door and I was like, oh man, what's your name? Justin Shorter. Oh, nice, dude. How you liking the school so far?
That happened to me with Micah Parsons. Outside of the house, we were like we heard like Micah Parsons was coming, like as a joke. We're like, oh yeah, Micah Parsons. Then my friend Colin goes, nobody can come in unless your name is Micah Parsons. And he pops out and he goes, I bet. We're like, holy shit. So then he's like, can my boys get in? And we're like, 100% go.
Yes.
Like, do whatever you want. And we let like 10 people, and it was so funny.
One time I watched Micah Parsons at a party, like literally, like someone was like passed out drunk on like some other like probably walk-on football player. I just watched Micah pick him up, throw him over the shoulder, and just walk out like basically like nothing was going on.
Incredible.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, so you guys want to move into bowl talk and talking about what we can kind of expect and what we're looking for. I know it's going to be a big topic for us for the next couple weeks, but I see us projected. Most places I'm seeing citrus and cotton.
Yeah.
Which
Seeing cotton a lot.
I would like the cotton. The only problem is we're going to get the group of 5 school, which is looking like UCF, unless they fall
I was
apart.
gonna say I would rather play in a worser game against a better opponent, if that makes sense. Like I'd rather play not a worser game, but like
A worse.
whatever. You know what I mean?
I know you mean. Rather play in the bowl against the SEC team.
Whatever word I'm looking for. Yeah.
I'd rather play the Citrus Bowl against like Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Than play in the Cotton Bowl against UCF or Tulane.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
I 100% agree. Because you beat UCF, congrats. You go out and you stomp Ole Miss, which I think we should do if we were to play Ole Miss in the Citrus Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a statement bowl win. If you use playing UCF is a lose-lose.
It is a lose-lose because if we go out there and lose, then
UCF, you're supposed to beat UCF. Yeah, you lose, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like not a good look.
Well, so and I mean, you see it everywhere now. Penn State. Listen, Penn State has handled business other than losses to Ohio State and Michigan. Ohio State looks lopsided, but if you watch that game, you know it wasn't. Michigan arguably has the best win in college football this year. How they dominated us and the way they dominated us. But
yeah,
Penn State, like this makes this bowl game ever so important because the narrative of you played nobody. Go out there and win a bowl game, even if it is the Citrus Bowl. Go out there and dominate that game against, another SEC opponent, which we beat Auburn by the same score as Georgia, and Georgia had Auburn at home.
Yeah, we dominated Auburn.
I would like to see, North Carolina roll up to Jordan-Hare Stadium and beat Auburn 42-10. It won't happen.
Wouldn't happen.
I would also, sorry, I mean to cut you off, but I'd like to see maybe there's an outside shot we get Clemson or UNC in the Orange Bowl, which that's best case, I think. So I think we beat Clemson and we beat UNC no problem because their defense is horrible. Nick and Cage from our 100 yards.
I would love Clemson in the Orange Bowl. That would be perfect to be able to beat Clemson.
I think Clemson would probably be 5 or 6, and we'd come in top 10 and play them in the Orange Bowl. And I'm guessing the way Vegas would see, because everyone loves Clemson, we'd be like a 3 or 4 point dog, I think, going into that game with Clemson.
Yeah.
But,
I mean go ahead.
I was going to say fans would travel, because I know it's in Miami, but, like, Penn State fans travel. I think we'd have –
especially on the East Coast.
Not there, but there'd be a lot of Penn State fans there.
Yeah.
Penn State –
we're going anywhere.
9 times out of 10 in a bowl game, we have more fans there. We travel insanely well. But I mean, there's obviously we touched on a lot of different things. But here's what needs to happen. We didn't even touch on the Rose Bowl, but the Big Ten SEC Invitational as the playoff is very, very, very much in play. I mean, one TCU loss, they're done.
USC done.
A USC loss, which there's just no way that like USC is going to take a loss. They'll be done.
Yeah, they're not going out.
And then Michigan, Ohio State is a very close game with Michigan. Honestly, it probably doesn't matter if it's a close game.
I don't think it matters who wins. Yeah.
If it's a very close competitive game, I don't think it matters who wins. You go. Winner, Georgia 1, winner of Michigan, Ohio State 2, Tennessee slots in at 3, and then loser 4. And then in that case, we are a lock for the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Against like USC, whoever comes out of there, probably USC, which
would be USC.
Cool. That would be cool. I don't know. Win that.
If you're saying USC gets a loss, I think we'd probably wind up playing Oregon, I think, or Utah.
No, because if USC gets a loss, because if USC takes a loss, it'll be Oregon and Utah in the Pac-12 because USC will have 2 losses.
No, but they both have 2 losses.
Yeah, but so USC will have 2 conference losses.
Yeah, so USC needs to beat you. No, but if USC beats UCLA on Saturday, they're in the Pac-12 championship.
Yes.
Because their last game is against Notre Dame.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that USC's loss is coming in the Pac-12 championship because I don't think they lose to UCLA. I don't think they lose to Notre Dame. So they would probably lose to the winner of this Oregon-Utah game, and then we'd wind up playing them in the Rose Bowl. I think we beat either of those 3 teams because, like I said on last week's show, if we're in the we in the Pac-12 and we're in the playoff, but we're not in the Pac-12, so it doesn't really matter. But I think we beat any of those teams by like a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. I saw on Twitter I saw a tweet from Hardcore Penn State Football, and he was going back and forth with a guy that was saying we would go 8-4 in the Pac-12, and he was like, "You would lose to Utah, UCLA, USC." I was like, "Oh my gosh, this guy's ridiculous."
No shot.
I was like, "We wouldn't lose a game."
Yeah, and then we could get into the Orange Bowl if Georgia just absolutely derails LSU.
Which is very
possible.
Yeah, could happen.
And then I mean, basically what would need to happen is USC wins this week. Because if UCLA beats USC, UCLA probably jumps us. And USC probably stays above us too.
No,
which if there's 2,
yeah, probably because the committee's so fucking stupid. They're so stupid.
So
they're so
we need to root for USC this weekend just to make sure UCLA stay behind it because there can only be one Pac-12 team ahead of us, or we won't get the Cotton. Which I don't even want the Cotton anyway. So honestly,
I just want to play a good team.
I think that's kind of the consensus here that I don't want the Cotton Bowl because I don't want to play because it'd either be UCF, Cincinnati, or Tulane. That's who we wind up playing. And you lose to any of those teams, it's an embarrassment.
It's
Like
embarrassing,
lost
yeah.
the season, I'd be pissed off. So
I'd rather go
play
lose to Clemson or
Ole Miss or
Alabama
LSU
or
this
old. Yeah, exactly.
They're gonna put Alabama's in the Sugar Bowl no matter what. They're not gonna put
I
unless
just threw their name out there as an example.
Unless they lose again.
Unless I don't think they will. What are they playing this week? Austin P, and then they play
Yeah.
Auburn. They're not gonna lose.
They're definitely not going to.
I would love
so
if they lost to
Alabama,
Auburn. Dude, if they lost to Auburn and then one second. If they lost to Auburn and we play Alabama in the Citrus Bowl, that would be electric.
That would be very cool.
There's a chance that we play Alabama in the Citrus Bowl. Basically, if USC and TCU both went out and get in, that knocks LSU into the Sugar Bowl. Because I'm assuming LSU is going to lose. LSU would be in the Sugar Bowl. Tennessee, it would be in the they put Tennessee. Okay, here's my thought process: LSU in the Sugar, Tennessee in the Cotton, and then Alabama in the Citrus.
Yeah, and then the loser of Michigan, Ohio State would be
in the
Rose.
Yeah.
And then that would put that's the recipe for us and Bama in the Citrus, which would be electric.
I'd take that.
That'd be awesome.
I'd almost prefer the matchups that we can get in the Citrus Bowl are just so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to play. I don't want
to play
the AAC
UCF
teams, man.
I just don't want to.
I think we'd win, but it's just such a pain.
Like, I can't get excited about
Memphis.
That. Yeah.
We beat Memphis in the Cotton Bowl. We destroyed them. I was like, awesome.
That game was like closer than it should. Well, not
it was.
Really. I mean,
yeah. I was there.
The box score was close.
It was just so many. It was a lot of scoring.
That was the Micah Parsons game.
Yeah,
that was an
absurd game. And Journey had a really good game too.
Journey. Shout out Journey.
That was the Journey, like, get off me.
Yeah. That touchdown was like 60 yards. He ran through like 4 different people.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Transfer portal. What does Penn State need to target? Because I mean, let's be honest, there's going to be an exodus from Texas A&M, I think. Like, there's just no way there's not. So there's going to be a lot of talent. And I'm just curious because I'm assuming there's already backdoor deals being done. That's stuff that we'll just never know. But we can't. This team needs a receiver. I mean, what's our receivers next year? Omari Evans.
We need an every down type of guy that's going to be like a reliable, somebody Drew can look to when he's in trouble,
Caden Saunders.
I don't see any wide receiver. All right, here I got some.
Liam
2 guys
Clifford.
from Auburn. Oh God, don't even.
Liam Clifford looks like he has a great connection with Drew.
He kind of does.
So 2 4-stars out of Auburn, J.J. Evans and Zavion Keepers. Then another Western Kentucky guy. So
I want
Pickens I want him.
Give me the
Pickens
Western
they're really slim right now. Let's check out this guy. Craig Burt. Let's check him out.
Crank Burt?
His name is Craig Burt.
Oh, I thought you said Crank.
Would have been a lot more electric than Craig.
Craig Burt. He's from Columbus, Ohio. He's a senior, so I don't know if unless he's another year eligibility. Doesn't have a ton of stats this year. Not really playing much, so sorry, Craig.
Yeah, maybe he's off the list.
Sorry, bud. Let's check out these 2 Auburn guys. See if they play at all. I feel like there's a lot of SEC guys that'll move. Speaking of transfer portal, not really doesn't affect us, but Drake May is going to go to like Alabama or somewhere.
I mean, apparently, I mean, obviously this is just Twitter fingers, but they said the only school he'd leave UNC for is Alabama. It was number 1 on his list when he was like going through the process. I mean, he should be the Heisman Trophy winner, period.
So Saban would take him.
Should.
Drake May has been the best player in the country, and it's really not close. Like,
if Drake May's on Alabama, he is the Heisman front runner. It's not even close. If you switch Drake May and CJ Stroud, put Drake May on OSU, and put Stroud on UNC, and they have the same exact numbers, Drake May is far and away the favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just because he's on UNC.
Stroud's probably not even in the conversation.
No, I was
Probably
going
not.
to say he wouldn't be on
Stroud
UNC.
is
They'd be
so
average.
overrated.
I don't think Stroud's overrated. I think he's a really good quarterback, but
I don't
it
think
doesn't help.
Heisman winner though.
What doesn't help Drake May is the fact that UNC is beating teams like Miami by a field goal, Georgia State by a touchdown,
Because their defense is horrible though.
App
It's not
State
him.
on a Hail Mary.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at his stats, I'm gonna pull up his game log. But it's not because of him. They put up points. So this against Wake, I had UNC moneyline plus 150.
Me
31,
too.
49, 448 and 3 touchdowns. Against UVA, they only beat UVA by a field goal, 293. Beat Pitt 388, Duke 380, Miami 309, B-Tech 363. When they lost to Notre Dame, they lost by 13. Not his fault though. They left 45 points, threw for 301 yards and 5 touchdowns. He hasn't thrown a pick. He hasn't thrown a pick since September 10th. Oh no, that's a lie. He threw 2 against Miami, but still, that's
like that'd be over 2 months. Holy hell!
He hasn't thrown a pick in 5 games. He has 3 picks this year. 34 touchdowns to 3 picks with 3,412 yards. Come on.
I thought it was 39 touchdowns. I thought I saw earlier today, but I could be wrong.
Maybe. And then he
Still.
he has 584 rush yards too. His last 4 games, 71 rush yards, 74 rush yards, 617. Like this guy leads the team in rush yards too. He should win the Heisman, but I don't know. We'll see. I hope he does though.
You did just mention Virginia. Thoughts and prayers to everyone.
That's horrific.
Tragic. Super tragic. Definitely should just want to put that out there that we are thinking about those families.
Thoughts and prayers.
Do we want to get a little Rutgers analysis in here?
Rutgers, I just hot off the press from Twitter. Rutgers announced a sellout crowd Saturday.
Are they doing a blackout or a red out or anything fun
I
like
don't
that?
know. I just saw Daniel Gallen tweet it.
If I wasn't going to be in Maryland, I would be at this game. But I have to go to the Maryland game instead. Yeah, I'm not really concerned about this game at all. I mean, Rutgers stuck it to Michigan in the first half of that game. They were up 1. But nothing about this Rutgers team moves the needle. Their defense isn't good. Their offense isn't – it's a Rutgers offense. Like, they don't move the ball at all. I think they've been rotating quarterbacks all season. 4-6. They haven't once. They beat Indiana by a touchdown 4 weeks ago. So they lost to Nebraska. Like, I don't know enough about them to kind of break down. I just know they don't really move the ball.
They have it's a classic Greg Schiano. It's a good defense. They can kind of run the ball. I mean, they gave Michigan a little test in the first half.
Yeah.
But then it was
Quorum had. Let me go. Let's see.
I know that they have they've just turned to a freshman quarterback, super green, super young. They got the guy that's been there forever, just like Sean Clifford. Vidral is looks like his career is over. I was pretty curious that the line was 19. I saw some tweets that Penn State in this Rutgers series averages about 35 points and Rutgers averages less than 6. So
I might add that to my card actually.
Yeah, that's gonna go on more.
That's something to look at. I mean, this Rutgers offense isn't good. Schiano plays tough defense. I don't see it. The way our defense is flying around the field, Rutgers isn't going to move the ball at all.
Yeah. And I'm looking right now against Michigan. Quorum had 109 and Donovan Edwards had 109. Quorum had 20 carries. Edwards had 15. We could easily do that with Nick and Kate.
So it should be something similar what we've been doing the last 2 weeks against these defenses.
Yeah, it should be the same exact game plan.
Yeah. And I know, obviously Rutgers is Rutgers, and Shiano isn't gonna, just roll over to Penn State. He's gonna play us hard. And then
Yeah.
there was one thing on Pay Dirt that I really enjoyed that Matt McGloin said today, and that was, well, not today, but I listened to it today. But he said Shiano is probably gonna, come out with some trickery. He's gonna come out. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a fake punt, or like a trick play, a trick reverse pass down the field, something like that, to just kind of spark his offense, or just try to throw something different. Because what are they, 4-6? They have nothing to lose. Might as well try to get a big win against Penn State. So I think we just need to be smart, need to take care of the football and stick to the game plan that we have been doing the past 2 weeks. And our defense isn't going to let up. I don't see them scoring on our defense. I really don't. But they're not going to let up over 10, 14 points at the max. So.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be you got to take care of the ball. That is a good point. I mean, Rutgers needs to win out here to go bowl eligible. If they lose this game, then their next game will be their last game of the season.
So I guess they do have something to play for. Yeah.
I'm assuming it's probably their senior day too.
Probably.
It is.
More than
so
likely. They got a lot to play for then.
I expect a highly motivated Rutgers group.
It's going to be very similar to the Northwestern game.
That's exactly
except we're going to them. Like Shiano kind of is going to come up with a similar game plan as Fitzgerald, where they're going to hold on the ball. Like you said, Rob, I could see some trickery happening, but like you can't run trickery the entire game. Like, yeah, you could get 1 or 2 on us and score 2 touchdowns. We're going to run the ball down their throat and score.
Mm-hmm. And our defense is going to stop their normal offense. The typical plays that they're going to run, they're not going to be able to move the ball on us. So I really don't feel any sort of uncomfortableness going into Saturday, to be honest.
What time? This game is at
3:30.
3:30. What's the weather like in Piscataway? Let's get a weather report.
It's going to be chilly, but not going to rain. It should be in the 40s.
Cloudy. I think it's cloudy.
It's football weather. It's football weather.
Exactly. So
Piscataway, New Jersey, 41 degrees is the high, so it should probably be around 35 at kick.
It'll be chilly. It'll be brisk.
Good. Let's
You're used to it though. I like ground and pound. Make them uncomfortable. That's what we got to do.
Make it sting, baby.
You guys want to go into predictions?
Sure.
So I guess I can start us off there. I mean, we talked a lot about the same thing constantly. Just run the same game plan that we did against Indiana. We did against Maryland. It's Rutgers. I mean, I think it's going to be kind of similar to the Indiana game, other than the Maryland game, because we were at home last week and we were on the road 2 weeks ago. I think it's going to be kind of a slow first quarter again. But Indiana and Maryland, Indiana and Rutgers are the same team, and Rutgers beat Indiana. So I think it's going to be a little closer in the first quarter. We might be up a touchdown or up 3, and then Nick and KH are just going to break big runs and run all over the place. I think they'll each have over 100 yards. I think 4 touchdowns combined. That's the 3rd week in a row that I predict that. We're going to run the ball down their throat. I think we win like 38-14 and cover the number.
Okay. I like that. I was also going to go in the 30s and under 17 points. I do think they get, one good play on us that, we have a breakdown in coverage or something, some trickery that happens.
They'll have a drive, a sustained drive.
Or a good sustained drive, like you said. But I do think that they're going to score at least 10 points. And then I think we will take care of them. Like you said, I think we give Katron and Nick both their due touches. They get over 100 yards like they have been doing. My one prediction early on, I think we're going to get Parker the ball on the outside, and he's going to take one to the crib. That's my prediction for this week. I would love to see that happen, but get him involved early as well. I think the final score, I was thinking somewhere like 33-14, 33-17, around there. That would be my guess. I like to cover.
33-14 doesn't cover the number though, Rob.
It does. 19. Well,
it's
a push.
We missed it by a half.
All right, we'll go 30. We'll go 35-14.
There it is. Imagine 33-14 and nobody covers. That'd be brutal.
I did that on purpose.
I mean, more of the same here. I mean, I think Nick and Katron are going to get theirs, but I do think that it's going to be, second half, we're going to see the young guys, and I think it'll be like a 28-7 game at the half, something along those lines. But I think Drew's going to be able to put up some stats this week. I think he leads us on a couple drives. Final score 41-10.
Get over the 40s. I like it.
I mean,
I want to see Drew in this game. I do. We didn't talk about that really. I want to see Drew sling it, get 2 touchdowns maybe. I know.
I'd
I
like
don't
to
really.
see him earlier. I know he got in like the end of the third quarter, but like let's throw him in there start of the second, maybe a drive in the second.
I don't
understand
putting him in and then giving him like 3 drives and putting Vayu in. I like Vayu, but let Drew get some.
And they're useless drives. Like he has no motivation to go in there in the cold weather and try his hardest to score touchdowns. Like what kind of motivation is that? Coming off the bench, sitting the entire first half. And then you're like, okay, go ahead. This means nothing to us. We're up 28-0.
Indiana, he looked really good.
I mean, he did look good, but it was
that first drive
really
that first drive against Maryland was bad.
Yeah, but I'm saying like
he
gets a bad drive, but they only gave him 3-4 drives. So let him play some more. And then Vayu comes in, the first snap's over his head. Not his fault, but I'd like to see him a little bit more. Hopefully they put him in and like at least give him a full quarter. Like if we're up 27.5 again, I think you got to put Drew in. Give him the third quarter, maybe the first drive or 2 to the fourth, and have Vayu finish it.
Right.
Or maybe have him play and then have Vayu and Bo split the fourth quarter. But we'll see. Hopefully we see some more Drew though.
I love this on Twitter. All the people who are saying that Drew's going to transfer because he's not getting enough playing time. He has the second most snaps of a true freshman quarterback in college football.
But he's not getting enough playing time.
Dude, like, obviously he knew what he committed to, and he knew that there was a 6th-year quarterback there. Like, I people are just so dumb and irrational. Like, obviously, we want to see Drew, but I mean, there has to be some sort of validity to the fact that Sean is still playing. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Like, there has to be something. Like these stud quarterbacks. I mean, Trevor Lawrence didn't do they don't come in and play as freshmen,
right?
So Lawrence, was he a sophomore when he took over for Kelly Bryant, or was he a freshman?
Late freshman.
Yeah,
I think he freshman. But Kelly Bryant got
hurt.
Yeah, Kelly Bryant got hurt.
Yeah, he got Wally pipped. Yeah. I mean, he's getting a lot of snaps, which is great. But I mean, I'm just excited for next year. Give me the Orange Bowl, give me the Citrus Bowl, and we'll roll. And we got a lot here. So I guess that's our show, right? I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
So that's our show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. At 4th and 5 Pod on Twitter. We're gonna make an Instagram. The TikTok will get stuff up eventually. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Repost, like on SoundCloud. Thanks for listening and watching. Let's beat Rutgers. We are.
Go State.
Caden Saunders is the next KJ Hamler.
Love it.